everybody, and welcome to PAM Time, an inspirational and educational show featuring the performing arts. That's music, dance, drama, art, but most of all, it's fun. I'd like to welcome you tonight for a great show on the ins and outs of the radio industry as well as the entertainment industry with Jack George. So come celebrate the arts with PAM Time. It's Pam Murphy once again, and you're watching PAM Time. So we're going to give the show over to Jack George. Let's hear what he's got to say about the radio industry and the television industry. Let's all learn. It's PAM Time.
Thanks for coming. Jack George, that is my real name. That is one of the four I use at WPDH, Mix 97.7 RRV, and 94.3, 97.3 The Wolf. There's 5 stations in the building in Poughkeepsie, so sometimes I have to go to the other stations to fill in if they need somebody or board off, etc., etc. I've been doing radio now 25 years. It does not seem like it. I started actually still going to college. I met some people when I was an intern, and that led me to the job. I walked in one day. They wanted to talk to me. I said, sure. They asked me to come and do the news during the newscast. I said, fine. So I was watching what they were doing, and afterwards, the boss said, would you like to be on the radio? And I said, sure. Well, that's been my goal for a long time. He goes, you want to start tonight? Doing what? On the air. Okay, I have no idea how to run the board. So that night I was on, it was a Wall radio, AM station, and 6 months later they moved me to FM on 92.7, and I've been there for about 9 or 10 years full time. Moved over to their sister station WPDH because I was old enough and I graduated, if you will, to classic rock. And then they asked me to fill in on Mix 97 and Wolf at some periods in time. And, it's been kind of fun. I only do it part-time now. I used to do it full-time because in 1999 I took a full-time job at Time Warner Cable and what used to be known as Cable 6 Television, which is now Time Warner Cable News. But I run now the public education and government channel programming for the cable company. I also do part-time work for their sports department. We got, we televise games, high school football game of the week, basketball game of the week, college basketball, college football, etc. And I've been with the sports crew, I don't know, about 10 years now, doing sports. I used to shoot sports for the news department, and I used to host at the anchor desk for a little bit, usually in a fill-in role while the main sports anchor was off. So that's basically me in a capsule. 25 years, like I said, doesn't seem like it seems like yesterday I just started. My first radio show playing Barbra Streisand. Not really my thing, but I didn't make the rules at that point. So let me start with radio. We have a presentation. There's pictures I have taken in the past week or two about some of the things I'm involved with, radio and TV. And I think now is the time to play the video, if you're ready up there. We'll get going. And I'll give you a description of what is being shown on the screen. Now, when we work on games, we have to wear these with credentials, so we have access to the field, to the truck, et cetera, et cetera. This is when I was with working with the New York Giants. I think I did that for the radio station for 8 years, at Wall Radio. Maris for the college football game, and this is the one I currently wear when I have to go cover the events. They're lovely, get you access, pretty cool, get you in the locker rooms, which is unique, because once you walk in, it's like football players, oh my God, they're behemoths, they're giant people, and you're just holding their microphone up, like, oh my God, you're 6'7", I didn't know you were that tall. There's also a reason why they shoot from above, like you're in the locker room and there's a guy who's just got a towel, or just like, you can see he's got no shirt on, and there's a reason why they're shooting from above, because if they shot from below, yeah, they're coming out of the showers. That's the weird part. They're coming out of the showers, and if I was an athlete, I don't want somebody sticking a camera and a microphone in my face. I just lost the game. And it's like, you're the last person I want to talk to. But they're more than gracious. Hockey players are probably the best. They're very calm. Their demeanor. They'll answer just about any questions. Football players, sometimes, well, if you get them on a good day, they're good. And if you get them on a bad day, tough. But, I've interviewed a lot of famous athletes, the New York Giants from the 90s and early 2000s. Probably the most famous I've interviewed sports is Mary Lemieux, now the owner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. On the Cowboys, maybe Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith. They were probably Deion Sanders. He was an elf. He just didn't show up. Just had like, Deion, I only have so much time, I gotta go. But it's a lot of fun. It's unique, but it is work. And there's two things you cannot do in the press box if you're at an NFL game or a college football game. One is cheer. You are not allowed to cheer. You're working. If they catch you cheering, out you go. 2, do not seek autographs. Once again, you're working. You're not there to get an autograph. You're there as an accredited media member, getting your film, getting your soundbite if you're a radio, and you're off to work. And editing and the final cut, and whatever has to be done to get it on deadline that you have. For TV, it's probably the 6 o'clock news, if it's a 1 o'clock game. If it's a 4 o'clock game, you've got the 11 o'clock news. So you're on deadline. So those people, they get it done time and time again. They're very proficient at their work, especially New York City people in ESPN. Okay, anybody got questions so far? Yeah, go ahead.
Who chooses the song that is played on the radio?
Who chooses the songs? Program director. Now, the different formats, like classic rock, PDH, we're not playing any new stuff. So all the music you hear is 60s, 70s, 80s, a sprinkling of the 90s. Unlike RV, which has new music, new offerings all the time, there's categories of songs that they break it up. Category A would be like a hot song. You'll hear that if you listen to a radio station 24 hours a day. Most people don't, but if you listen the full day, you'll hear that song 6 or 7 times. Because it's brand new, and the average radio listener maybe 15 to 20 minutes. So you got 15 to 20 minutes to get it on a couple new songs, maybe a classic, whatever the format of the radio station is. So now you wonder, why does Taylor Swift get played so much? Now you know the answer. So you only got a certain amount of time. Now K104, another radio station, a competing radio station, they play top 40 music, so they don't play classics. They will play all the new stuff, maybe a couple songs from the past couple of years, but it's mostly new. And that's their format. RV, they're the new rock alternative. They'll play new stuff, but they'll also play some older material. PDH is all classic rock. Mix 97, the station I work for, it's an adult contemporary station. We'll play hits and we'll play some songs from the 90s and 2000s. So it's a format. Anything else so far? Good. Okay. We'll move on. This lovely device here, somebody thought it was just a satellite dish. Pandora, it's not. It is a parabolic microphone. If anybody takes geometry, it's in the shape of a parabola, as you can see with the dome. This unit picks up audio and sound 150 feet away. This one. There's bigger ones that the networks use that pick up more, about a couple of hundred feet, 200, 300 feet. During the games you see on television, specifically football, but it's also used in baseball and hockey, and sometimes basketball. These can be manned or unmanned. So during a football game, there's people on the sideline holding these up, and they're pointing at the quarterback because they want to hear Tom Brady, Peyton Manning call the signal, and you can hear it crystal clear. If anybody's got surround sound to do at home, you can hear it all over the place. For a baseball game, they'll position this somewhere behind home plate, like in a cage. I know with the Renegades at Dutchess Stadium, they have a cage where we can put this in, and nobody has to man it. It just sits in there, and it's picking up audio from the umpire, the catcher, the swing of the bat. So if the guy swings and misses, you'll hear the catcher go. But if he hits the ball, you'll hear the crack. And you'll hear the umpire call strike if he does not offer at the pitch. For a hockey game, they use littler ones, and they position them around the glass so you can hear the crunches of the checks and any kind of certain discussions amongst the hockey players that are not favorable. Sometimes the audio guy in the truck is like, oh, I can't hear that, and I'll just pop that down. Because words are not nice sometimes in the heat of the battle. But, so, I like to demonstrate this. We have a volunteer. Okay, you in the front. Come on up. I'm going to get off mic here, so we'll just have to do this. Okay. I'm going to stand over here to pick up on. What's that? Oh, you're talking too fast. Look at that. Something? You said the word something? Okay, I picked up that. Go ahead. All right, now,
What'd you say?
she said the word something.
That's it. Oh, wow, I couldn't hear it at all. All right, that's really good.
Okay.
All right, that's
All
pretty
right.
good.
Now, I want you to wear. You're going to clip this. And let's see if you can pick me up and repeat what I say, all right? What did I say?
Something about Taylor Swift.
Correct. I said she's the worst musician in the world.
I gotta edit that.
But you see, that's pretty good for all over there. And so that's how that works.
Woo, nice.
There you go. And they strap themselves with this, so that, you know, and their job basically follow the quarterback in football. If it's manned. If it's unmanned, obviously it just doesn't move. But, so that's a parabolic microphone. $6,000 at your local retail store. You want the bigger one? That's $12,000, approximately. But that's some of the tools that are used in the broadcast of a game that, you know, everybody puts on. They're like, oh, they got Peyton Manning. You know, I can hear Peyton Manning. I can hear Aaron Rodgers. I can hear Eli Manning of the Giants. Call signals. There's the reason why. It's because of that invention. There's also one of the newer inventions is the Skycam that you see hovering over the stadium. It's on 4 giant cables, and somebody in the truck is controlling where that's going with a joystick. $1 million. And better them than me. But there's also, you ever watch, anybody watch auto racing?
Yes.
Okay. Inside, you know how you can see them inside the car when they're driving? Well, there's a little tiny camera that sits up on the passenger side window. It's called a lipstick camera, and the reason being it's the size of a lipstick. Not that big. That's also about $1 million. Unfortunately, if one of them crashes the car and breaks the camera, well, it's insured. Thank goodness, but they don't like it when they wreck the cars and the lipstick cameras sitting right there. But those are some of the tools of television. Radio, not so much. You know, you just need a board, a microphone, headphones, magic. It's like theater of the mind. You know, you create your own. I have so much fun still to this day, and I've been doing it a long time. When I go on different stations, I have to know who I'm talking to. The audience is totally different. So if I'm on RV or mix, it would be like you guys in the front row. You're my sort of target audience, maybe teenagers to late 20s. If it's WPDH, it would be, no offense, Pam and husband, you guys, and the gentleman there, and over there, because the audience is different. If I said the word 8-track player on the station they listen to, what's an 8-track, right? You know what an 8-track is? Exactly. If I said it to these guys, they know what an 8-track player is. Yes, sir.
Have you ever made a mistake
Absolutely.
going from one station to the next?
Sure. Oh, you mean
Now-
say the wrong call letters? Am I
Yeah, call
wrong
letters
name?
and then like take a phone call or
Mhm.
something like that, and then
Sometimes,
catch yourself.
sometimes there's a couple stations that will play maybe the same artist, like Bon Jovi, for instance. We'll end up on 2 stations. Pearl Jam, maybe, they'll end up on 2 stations in the building. So you have to be careful. I have like a little cue card in front of me, reminding me where I am and who I am. Jack George, 101.5 WPDH. If I'm on mix and I'm playing Pitbull, it's Lou George. Lou's my middle name. I like Pitbull, and he's unique. But I like all forms of music. There's really no music I really dislike, distaste. Everything is unique. It's geared towards somebody. I mean, everybody who loves music, there's one artist in particular who loves so much, probably because it hit at you home when you were little. For instance, my passion is Rush. It's a band that's been around since '74. There was one song when I was at Goshen Middle School in the '80s called Subdivisions. It was about a song about be cool or be cast out, because I was picked on a lot in school. I was the nerd. I was the fat kid. I was the one that didn't have the greatest clothes, best shoes. And I was picked on. And that song just did something for me. And I grew to that band because of that song. I don't know if that's happened with anybody else, why you like who you like, but I'll bet $5 there's probably a song or two that hit a nerve, and that's why you gravitated towards that band or artist. And there's many great musicians out there on planet Earth. But unfortunately, there's not as many as maybe before, because there's not as many record companies as before willing to promote people. I mean, this place here is a great place to learn at the small level, at the amateur level, and then you work your way up. I mean, I still have a tape of my first radio broadcast. God, I stunk. That was awful. I don't know who that guy is. I play it once in a while just to laugh at myself. And I think I got good because of people around me that wanted to help me. And if anybody ever falls in that situation, that's the best thing that can ever happen to you. I've had great people I've worked with. One works at a company in Houston, Texas. They do commercials for all 50 states for concert venues. His name is Greg O'Brien. And I heard him one day in Atlantic City, and I called him. I'm like, hey, you were doing that John Mayer commercial for the Boardwalk Convention Hall. He's like, oh, yeah, I did that like a month ago. I'm like, oh, cool. He's like, oh, thanks for telling me. At least somebody's playing it. But he was a great teacher. This guy, Bill Palmeri, is a great teacher. I've worked with people in the building who are now at ESPN. Freddie Coleman and Jay Reynolds, they work on the radio side. The current play-by-play announcer for MSG and the Knicks and ABC, Mike Breen, he worked at WPDH a long time ago. So, you know, that building has produced good talent, and they've moved on to other big things. I feel like I have too. What led me to the TV job was I had experience working with logs and programming in radio, and I never thought I would ever work in television. I thought I was just going to be in radio and then maybe do something else with my life. I never thought it would come to that. So, being here, learning at the level for music, dance, drama, it's a good start, and it's a way to enhance your abilities, to learn, to understand. I mean, Sam Wright, he's got so much, the work that he has done. I mean, he can pass off that information that he knows to all the students here. Pam is resourceful. She's, musician and has learned many things about the do's and don'ts of music, and when you move on in life and you get older, and if you continue with drama, you continue with being a stagehand, learning to do lighting, audio, sound, you'll bring that with you, and then you'll learn more. I still learn to this day. I learn something new every time I'm on the air. Whether it be presentation, the music I play, the artists, the information that comes to me, research, I learn something every day. I try to get better every day. And if you don't, you'll just fall back, I think, anyway. So, that's it for me. Anybody got questions?
Can you do more of the calls?
You want more goofy phone calls?
More goofy phone calls.
Well, there's
That's
people
what you
that
gotta
don't
listen to
like
'em-
me.
That's what you got to listen to them on the radio for.
I love it when people call me up and they don't like me.
So, Jack,
That's my favorite.
I'd like to thank you for coming tonight
Oh, yeah.
and for sharing your expertise. We'd love to have you back and learn more. I know there's so much about this industry we'd all like to know.
There's some scary things.
But yeah, we'd like to thank you all, and thank you all for tuning in to PAM Time. It's great to have you.
Can't wait till she edits this program.
Me too. Good night again. It's Pam Murphy, along with Jack George, Mandy Wright, and all the people here at the Hudson Valley Conservatory. That's 35 East Main Street in Walden, New York. Samuel E. Wright's wandering around here somewhere too, one of the business owners. We'd like to thank Jack for sharing his expertise on the radio industry and the entertainment industry and television industry. And we'd like to welcome him back again. So thank you for tuning in. Tap into the performing arts in your community. Goodbye and good night.
No,
Welcome, Wayne.
Right. Oh my
There he is.
God.